everyone, welcome to the Monday Angel Messages. I've decided today, Monday the 26th of October in Australia, I'm with you a little bit earlier today because I got up super early for me, not a morning person, to do World Angel Day, and I'm still dressed up, I've still made up, I've still got the backdrop here, and I'm really looking forward to a bit of a rest and a lie down. So I thought I'll do this now and give you the messages, the energy update, give you a little bit of update about what happened at World Angel Day, and then you've got the messages early and I can have a little rest before later this afternoon when I send them all out in the newsletter. So how are you? How is the energy going with you at the moment? And have you been remembering to ask your angels for help? Because that's what we need more than ever at the moment, is the angels' help. And if nothing else, well, lots more, but what I got out of being at Angel Day is that, isn't it wonderful to get together with like-minded, open-hearted, spiritually oriented people, and to bring and invoke that angel energy amongst, a gathering is just an absolute privilege, and it's so needed. You can feel all the heart opening and all the pain releasing and the loneliness melting away, because this year's really been such a hard year for loneliness, all around. It doesn't matter if you've got a giant family with you, living with you, or just you and a cat or a dog, or just you, or you and a partner. It actually doesn't matter, because that spiritual loneliness sometimes, that we know that we are physically physical beings, but we're spiritual beings. And I think sometimes we crave the connection with that higher vibration in other people, and we crave that human connection with others. The love is what we crave. And we also remember that we are originally from the source. That's what our soul is. We are eternal beings of light. And I think when we're in this duality, we're living our life on planet Earth, we get connected in with fear sometimes. We see the separation playing out on our television screens, and on our social media we see the separation of this one against that one, or this person hating this person, or someone saying something negative about you, and then and it brings up that separation, which brings up the longing for that divine love, which is what the angels bring. And so when the angels bring us together, and okay, at the moment we can't do too many physical gatherings, but we can do these online gatherings, and oh my goodness, it was so amazing, it was beautiful. And but even if you're not at a gathering, like right here now, we've probably got a dozen people here. The fact that you can connect in with your angels, that's like phone home. You get that divine love energy, you draw that towards you. And if you're open to it, if you let your heart open, let yourself release the emotion that's built up in there, you start to be able to receive that divine love. And of course, with that comes the things that we want, those miracles, the guidance, the solutions, the signs, the angel appearing in front of us, or whatever it is, however it comes, because we can't control it. The angels are in charge. They're not our genies. We can't say, okay, I want an angel to appear before me, or I want an angel to say my name to me. Oh, I just saw a feather float down outside my window as I'm talking to you. We can't say that. If you are saying that, it's not going to work, because you can't make the angels do anything. That's divine. That's the source energy. We're really not in charge. What we can do is surrender, release, make ourselves open to receive the gifts that are given to us. And that way, when we're in a state of gratitude, more of those signs come, just like that feather. I mean, I've got the window to my back garden, and then there's kind of an awning, so the feather kind of dropped out of the awning, which is really odd. So hi Jen, hi Kathleen, hi Jules, thanks for saying hi. So Kathleen is feeling calm energy. Jen is feeling the intensity of the energy. So yeah, and you know, we've got so many things going on at the moment worldwide. So it depends what you're tuned into. You know, there's the collective energy, there's the moon and the planets and what they're doing. There's, you know, if you have got your own little space going with your meditations and stuff like that, that can be good, intense, and it can be calm and peaceful, and it can also be stressful if you're doing a lot of releasing of grief and heaviness or whatever is coming up for you at the moment. So I pulled a card before we started while I was, you know, waiting for the time to come. And I asked the angels out of the Archangel Tarot deck, you know, what do you have to say to us about the energy this week? So this is Monday going all the way through till next Monday. And what I got was the Ace of Michael. I don't know if you can see that card in the camera. So we've got Archangel Michael standing on the top of a mountain, and he's pointing off, and he's kind of in the clouds, and he's saying, you know, look ahead, think ahead. What do you want to see in your future? Project your love and your light and call on the angels to help you with that. Put love into the world, and that is what you will see. So it's a good card because one, it does feel like there's peace, isn't there, at the top of the mountain. There's this feeling of rising above all of the icky stuff that's down there. Now he's got a few black clouds above his head, but he's not letting that bother him because he's Archangel Michael, and he's the most powerful, protective, loving angel that there is, and his job is to remove those dark clouds, symbolic of dark energy, heaviness, fear, grief, conflict, loss. He can help you to shift those so that your light can shine even more brightly, not only on others but for yourself. You know, if you're not right, nothing else is going to feel right. So you've got to do that self-healing, which is really, I guess, what this year is about. So he's saying, don't let that icky stuff, the low energies that are around, interfere with you, interfere with your consciousness, with what you want to focus on, with what, you know, rise above it, and you will be able to see the good stuff then. And that is so true, you know. If you get tired, you get drained, you got something going on, you just feel like you need an emotional release, but you're not letting it happen, things start to look worse. You start to see the negatives more often. But when you sort of clear that, you get well rested, you pray and talk to your angels, you do some self-care and self-love, you rise above that energy, and then nothing bothers you anymore. It's like, oh, I can't believe that was getting on my nerves. And it's not getting on your nerves, it's just that you're at this vibration where it's able to hit you. You know, it's like being dragged down a waterfall. You're being thrown around in all of that lower energy, whereas when you rise above it, it no longer can touch you, and you are in a protected space. Then it can't get to you. So I love that that's what we got from Archangel Michael about the energy, because I would say that's pretty true. It's not altering that much. You know, we're having good days and bad days. You know, the moon stuff and certain planetary transitions add to it, or we have time when the cosmic energy gets a little bit calmer and it's like it's giving us a bit of a break. But if we tune into our angels, we've got this amazing life raft that we can jump on at any time, whatever's going on. But we've also always got to listen to this, like, what is your body telling you it wants? What do you need right now? You need to unplug from all of that icky stuff. So I'm going to pull some more cards for you. I want to tell you a bit of a story. So as you know, I was part of World Angel Day, which was a lot of speakers between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. in America, Pacific time. So that started at 4 a.m. in Australia, my time, New South Wales time. So obviously I'm like I said, I'm not a morning person, so I really wanted to be well rested and in a good place to be presenting my talk, which was going to be at 8:30 a.m. was at 8:30 a.m. Australia time. So I wanted to have a really good night's sleep. Well, at 4 a.m. I was woken up by this amazing bird call, the like of which I have never heard before. I mean, you probably, if you were online with me a couple of weeks ago, you would have heard the storm bird, which was loud. It wasn't the storm bird, it was another bird. And it was calling to its mate, which was obviously miles away. But in the night, you know, everything's quieter, so that sound travels. But the bird must have been pretty close to my window. And it was, I can't even describe the call. If I could draw the call, it was like a spiral with a bell in the middle of it. That's all I can tell you. It was like the most amazing harmonious, and then its little friend was calling back to it. And I thought, why is this happening? Am I supposed to get up and watch, you know, get up and go to World Angel Day early? But I did get a no for that. And I think they were right. I needed to rest. So I looked at my phone, which was on airplane mode, and it was exactly 4 a.m., exactly the time that World Angel Day was starting. The angels were letting me know, because of course I was a part of it, whether I was present physically at that time or at 8:30, it doesn't matter. I was going to be a part of it. So I did drift back off to sleep until 6, and then I got up and got myself ready and got the room ready, prepared for the talk. So that was the first little miracle that happened for World Angel Day. But I'll talk a bit more about that. So I'm going to pull you a card from the new Kyle Gray deck called the Angel Guide. And then I'm going to pull you a couple more from the Archangel Power Tarot as well. So Jill said she's okay as long as you stay grounded. New beginnings are happening. Yes, that's it, isn't it? It's about staying grounded. We can go to those higher realms, but when we're up in those higher realms and we're not grounded, can feel kind of, you know, a bit out of body and a bit oversensitive, a little bit impacted, perhaps lightheaded. But if you're grounded and you go up to those higher realms, you're communicating, meditating with your angels, the messages are clearer. You don't feel that woozy out of body feeling, but you do feel a sense of bliss because you're in the energy of love. So it's very important that you stay grounded because of this energy that is around us at the moment. And centered, you know, we've got to stay centered in what we decide we want to stay centered in. Like, am I staying centered in gossip and fear? Am I staying centered in what other people think of me? Am I staying centered in the to-do list that is burgeoning all the time? Or am I staying centered in divine love? And what does the world need more of? And what do you need more of at this time? Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Dee. I could have, honestly, yeah. I knew that card was going to come out. So on another parallel universe, I said it before I pulled it out, but I didn't in this universe. So this is our first card. Look at that. I think this guy looks like Robbie Williams. It's cut the cord. So who or what do you need to cut your cord with? What is pulling at your energy? What is playing on your mind? What is bringing up fear for you? Now, it could be a person, someone in your circle, someone in your family, someone that you've had an issue with. Cut that cord. It could be someone that you don't know, but you think about a lot. Maybe it's a famous person and their energy bothers you. Cut that cord. Because if you are letting that other person's fear, negativity, behaviors, or even projecting their thoughts and fears and behaviors, you're letting them impact you in any way, shape, or form. There's a cord there, and that cord is like a funnel which is chugging toxic energy to you and perhaps back to that other person if you're sending energy to them in your thoughts. And that will keep your energy low. It will make you feel unwell. You might feel like, I just can't get this person or this situation. It doesn't even have to be a person. It can be a situation. It could be a country. It could be a location. It could be an ex-workplace, anything. You can be corded to anything that you have strong feelings about. And cords, fear cords, are around conflict, anger, resentment, guilt, judgment, because they come from the ego. And those are the energies that are very low vibrational and will be toxic to your well-being, your thoughts, and to you staying in your positive energy. So this is our first card, other than the one that was about the energy at the moment. So this means that this is the message that the angels most want to get over to you this week, and it's saying this is the theme. Start here, cutting your cords. So sometimes when we're protecting our energy, we might say, well, I protected my energy, but I'm still feeling a bit yuck, or I still feel like I'm absorbing negative energy. And that would be because cords are there. And cords, when you cut them, you have to call on Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the cord cutting angel because he carries the sword of flaming light, transmutation. And remember that angels are professionals. They are the most excellent healers. They know what to do with toxic energy. You and I don't know what to do with toxic energy. Do you know what we do with toxic energy? Is we stuff it back in our bodies. So you're talking to your dearest friend who's going through something, and maybe they've got a lot of anger, or a lot of resentment, or a lot of sadness, or a lot of whatever going on. And you don't want your friend to be unhappy. You want your friend to be at peace. So being the loving, compassionate, empathic light worker that you are, you sometimes subconsciously suck all of that energy into your own being, or you hook it in. You say, oh, it's okay, I'm going to take that from you. And then you walk away feeling, what just happened to me? I feel revolting, I feel horrible, I've got a headache, I feel sick, my solar plexus feels funny, my heart feels heavy, and you can't get rid of it. And you don't necessarily connect it to your friend, you just know that you feel off. That's a cord is formed, and you've probably ingested some of that toxic energy. So that's, the angels will do that for you. They will say, okay, out of the way, let me take that for you. Let me take it from you. Let me take it from your friend if you ask for it, and if they're willing to let it go. And that way you don't have to let any of it impact your precious energy, because that can really have a toxic effect on you, mind, body, and spirit. And you've really got to look after all of that, especially at the moment, right? At the moment now is the time we've been training for. We've been learning about these things for the last 10, 12, 20 years. This is what we're waiting for. We were training for this. This is when you have to bring out your energy tools, get your smudge stick out, use your crystals, call on your angels, use that energy work. So you call on Archangel Michael, you say, Archangel Michael, please clear me of any toxic cords. And if you think you know who the cords are attached to, you can say, please cut my cord between myself and this person. And do some deep breaths, but you have to be willing to let go of your bit of it. If you're feeling resentment, or you're feeling guilty, or you're feeling on some level you don't want to let it go, your ego wants to chew on it a bit longer, he's not going to be able to take it, because your willingness is needed. He's not able to intervene with your free will. So ask Archangel Michael to cut your cords. When I say you have a cord that needs cutting, who do you think of? You don't have to write it there, but is there someone that you think of, or is there a place or an ex situation that you think of, or maybe someone in the public arena that you think of? It's possible that you've got a cord to them, and they may not even know about it. They wouldn't have a clue, but it's affecting you, and you've got to cut that cord, Archangel Michael said. So don't know where to start. Okay, now we had this card in a different form a little bit earlier last week. It was a different card, but the same message. And this is take a step back. Now, the first thing I see, when I teach card reading, I don't just teach or read the words, but it's easier to do it this way for you guys, because this is a general reading too. But the first thing I see on this is how connected this figure is to source. I'm also seeing the colors of blue and purple, which are who is the angel that we think of when we think of blue and purple? Someone drop it into the comments. So This message, he's holding energy in his hand, and he's also doing the kind of peace healing symbol. He's connected with source, and the message is take a step back. So with that, I would say that after you've cut your cords, you need to clear your energy. You need to allow source energy to replenish and recharge you and fill up those places, that divine love energy to fill up those places where, that's it, Michael, fill up those places where the cord was sitting, because that toxic energy gets pulled out. That's it, James Michael. You've got to let the source energy back in. We can't do anything unless we're connected with source. You can't get anything to work unless it's connected. So you don't work unless you're connected. So this is what's needed. You need to connect in with source, bring that white light down, surround yourself, let it come in through your crown chakra down into your base, ground yourself into Mother Earth. Take some time out, take a step back from all things that are toxic, that add stress and fear and upset to you. Step away from it. You know, it's really hard to see something when you're in it, and when you keep dipping into it, it doesn't resolve. It's a little bit like pouring cement on it. You solidify it, or pouring fuel on a fire. You just make it worse, especially if there's a conflict. The more mind energy that you add to it, the worse it gets. Step back, connect with source. There's answers coming. Cut the cords so that you can think clearly. So Erica says, since healing with you and the angels and cutting the cords with Archangel Michael and using grounding, you have provided to greatly improve my life. I see. Yes, that's so good. Yes, Erica, thank you. And you know, when you come and do that work, it's you. You know, I'm the facilitator. I can find the energy and help you cut it and talk you and show you how to do that and hold the space for that. But the fact that you say, I'm willing to release this now, that is big. You know, and the angels are clapping their hands for you. They're giving you a round of applause. Because when you say, I'm willing to release this, you allow yourself to heal and become the truth of who you really are. But you also, you perform a miracle. You know, life turns around. It so does when we do this work. So bless you, Erica, and thank you. So here's two cards have come out at the end. So we've got the divine yes. Now remember, usually there's guidance. So this is the theme, what we need to think about this week, the most important thing to think about. What to do, the absolute guidance. This is the actions. Take a step back, allow divine energy, pull back from situations that are toxic for you and cut your cords to them. The outcome, yes. Yes. So look at the energy of this card. It's this happy, joyous angel. He's no longer, you know, sucked down with the dark, heavy energy. He's leaping into the light. There's just bright light, rainbow colors in that card. He's joyful. He's got a big smile on his face. You're free. You're free. And then there's a big yes. So it's like what you wanted is coming to fruition. When I see a yes card, it's like, this is the sign. This is what you wanted. Now this is rather lovely if you're looking for this, but it means it can be anything. Look at that. Love, romance, and connection. So it doesn't always have to be romance, but it can be. Whenever I cut cords with people, I have little burps that happen, and I really feel one coming on, so someone must have cut their cords while they're watching. So this is love, romance, and connection. Look at that beautiful card. You know what I love about these cards? I mean, I love everything about these cards, but I love, thanks Pete and Debbie, I love that they have all different people, different skin colors, different nationalities, different cultures, you know, and they're not all just one. I think this is what we've been praying for, right? We need that. So here we've got this beautiful couple, and there is this, again, this swirling energy, and they've come together, and I feel Archangel Samuel's energy with this card. So the outcome of following this is that we get this love and connection. And you know, this is not just about romance. You know, romance is amazing, but the love that we're craving is divine love. Like, we need human love. We cannot live without human love. We, you know, an animal love, if it ever, you know, dogs and cats and the way animals are. But this is what is coming. And yet so many people at the moment are in fear about what is coming, because we can't, because no one has said to us, sorry, we go through this for 6 months and it's going to be over. And there's so many kind of, it doesn't matter what country you're in, there's so many different things that are hanging, that we're so used to things being known. But right now we're living in a time of ascension and awakening and shifts. And we have to trust, we have to go deep and trust in our intuition, we have to trust in our angels, and we have to trust in all of the beings of light and the divine that is guiding us. We have to know. We don't realize how powerful we are, that our inner knowing has an influence on the outcome. We're not passengers all in a canoe about to go over the edge of a waterfall without a paddle, right? That's not the way it is. That's the way it can feel, because we're listening to the narrative that is about fear that comes to us in every direction possible. And it's not the right way to think. It's not truth. It pretends it's truth and it seems like truth, but it's not truth. That's why there's so much anxiety going on at the moment, so much grief. We are being steered. We are in good hands with the divine. And yes, we have to do our part. And part of our part is altering our consciousness, shifting our thoughts, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, even if no one is telling us that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We are not minions. We are powerful creators ourselves. So this is what this is telling us. It's like, there is so much joy, happiness, peace, and love at the end of this, personally and collectively. And this is what you are to focus on. So Tracy says, which crystals help with cutting cords? Well, you don't need a crystal to cut the cords, right? Because Archangel Michael carries the sword of light, and that's powerful enough for you to, for it to happen. But if you want to use a crystal, and sometimes it's helpful to mimic, you know, you go, okay, Archangel Michael, cut the cord, I can feel it right there, or we're here, or wherever it is. You can run your own hand, because you are a powerful healer, down the front of your body and sweep it away and help Archangel Michael. And that sometimes helps because you're doing it in the physical, but you can also use, I don't think I've got a piece here, use selenite. So a selenite wand, or just a shard of selenite raw, that's like a long white piece of gypsum, very pure white, and it literally looks like a sword. You can even buy them carved into swords. That is a perfect one for using with cutting cords. Or you could get an amethyst. I've got a piece of amethyst here, or another purple stone called sugilite, which is both of those represent Archangel Michael and invoke his energy. But you don't need a crystal for cord cutting. But why not? Hey, any excuse to have a crystal, I say. Ida says she's just cut a bunch of cords. Yay! Do you feel great? Do you feel better? It's amazing, isn't it? Jules says, why do people fear divine peace within? That's a good question. Maybe they don't fear it. Maybe they don't know it. Maybe they've never experienced it. Maybe, you know, what's so easy to do, and we mustn't judge people, but what's so easy to do in this world is to get caught up in the material idea of competition, comparison, scarcity, lack. And you know, if you think you're going to run out of money, love, abundance, which you won't. Did you come to the Prosperity Angels webinar on Friday, where we talked about scarcity versus abundance and the truth? If you think it's going to run out, and you really believe the narrative that is fed to us, and most people do believe that, then you don't know that there's another way of being. And so that competitiveness, greed, anger, resentment, them against us, becomes a way of being and a way of life. And you think that's the only way to be, the only way to be successful, the only way to feel loved and appreciated and have self-worth. And then you've also got people that have never had love physically in their lives, and that's left them very, very hurt. And they don't know what it feels like, so they can't call on it. And some people, I think, project that it's all airy-fairy nonsense. But I think as well, as fear can be addictive, drama can be addictive, because it sets off our adrenals and it gives us a rush of energy that is not real energy. And it gives, it's like gambling, I suppose, or playing the pokies, where people get a little high every time they hit the jackpot. So they want that over and over again. So people get addicted to drama, they get addicted to conflict, get addicted to romances that go wrong, one after the other, because they like the highs and then the low and then the high again. So it's just, sometimes it's a physical addiction. But we don't have to be like that. And the more we share love and peace, and you love yourself and you allow that love within you and that peace in your life, that radiates and will affect the people who are ready to make that shift. And some people aren't ready to make that shift, and they're the ones that perhaps throw a hand grenade in and leave. Or they've got work to do, they've got things they've got to work through. Hi Amanda, lovely to see you. I hope that answered your rhetoric question. So these are our cards. I won't take another card because it just gets too complex. So the first card was Archangel Michael. This was about the energy at the moment. It was like rise above the icky vibrations, rise above anything, which is kind of the same as what our second card told us. Take a step back. The energy is going to be the energy. It depends what you tune into. Are you tuning into mass consciousness? Are you tuning into the news? Are you tuning into your angels? You're going to have a different energy, whatever you decide to do. But if you can rise above that and call on Archangel Michael, he will help you. And then, of course, he shows us the cord cutting. So we've got to cut some cords this week. Connecting to divine source, step back from anything that makes you feel toxic, tired, exhausted. It doesn't mean you're judging if you pull back. It means that you're loving yourself. And when your energy is up, you might go back in again. It's up to you. But this is saying, pull back. That's going to be your solution. When you pull back, divine intervention can happen. And then the outcome is beautiful, divine love and connection. And the big yes card, something big and good is going to happen. Please, we've got 15 or so people here. Focus for a moment on seeing the world peaceful, knowing that the pandemic has passed, seeing people treating each other with love. Visualize angels all over the world helping people, and see your life as peaceful and abundant and happy. And as you put out that prayer, ask for the highest good according to divine will to happen. Not your will, divine will. And that way you know that you're bringing through the highest energy, and not like, what can I get out of this? What's in it for me? It's not just about what's in it for you. It's about the highest energy of all that comes from source and your divine angels. So I will put these cards up a little bit later on Instagram. I'm going to have a little rest myself, seeing as I've been up for a few hours. And then you will get this reading and a little bit of extra in the newsletter if you're signed up to my newsletter. You can go over to my website, and if you want to sign up, and you'll get the free masterclass about connecting with your angels if you haven't done that already. The next webinar in November, the 20th, is Healing with Archangel Raphael. And Archangel Raphael is the healer angel. He helps you to heal emotionally and also physically. So if you've got anything that you would like healing, come along to that webinar. It's only $47. And then he's also the Archangel of healers. So if you are a healer, if you feel like you're a healer, If you are trying to draw more people to your healing business, or you want to know what the next step is, or you want to increase the healing energy coming through you, come along, because I'm going to teach you some of Archangel Raphael's healing. You're going to receive a healing, and I'll give you some insights as to how Raphael can help you in that webinar. So that one is going on sale tonight, and it's over on my website if you want to go and take a look at that one. So angel blessings, have a beautiful week ahead, and I appreciate you, and I will see you next week. Lots of love. Mwah.